Murali, maybe in short, if you could tell, how do you address mobility and BYOD? Because there are different organizations dealing with this in many different ways. Some are trying to stop this, some are trying to adopt it. So there are many different ways by which people are trying to handle this. Murali, how do you feel it should be handled when it comes to mobility and BYOD, considering the security aspect?
Well, see, one of the things that number one, you have to put a ring fence around the devices that you are allowing to come into the corporate, right? If you are using, for example, WebEx, or if you are using Adobe Connect, or if you are using ClearC kind of a thing to do remote conferencing, we have a server level control to allow what kind of a software platform from which you can connect. So that way we can do a ring fence around the devices, and data encryption on the complete device, so that when there is a cold boot of the device, if somebody uses the device and if there is a cold boot, then it requires to have a separate boot up password before the machine is being started. And the PGP, well, like on the desktop machines, PGP encryption, on the laptop, on the mobile devices, there are multiple commercial vendors that will provide you the facility that will allow you to do a remote wipe and then cold reboot password to make sure that the data is encrypted. Right? So you can enforce on a BYOD device a minimum guarantee of security should the device be lost, so that you can identify the geolocation or you can remote wipe it. That said, you are bringing up a very valid point, the human element. What if somebody copies the data from his mobile device to some Dropbox kind of a thing and that account gets leaked somewhere else? How do we protect it? There is no answer for that. It is a lot of education and teaching people to be responsible. And one of the things that I know from own experience and working with a lot of folks, seeing is many companies have trivial knowledge on the security impact of using latest technology. Like, for example, people showcase, people say using cloud, we are using cloud, we are cloud enabled. They are using it as a business showcase without understanding the real impact of cloudifying their system, whether they need it or not. Because somebody else did it. Okay, somebody bought iPhone 5, so I am buying an iPhone 5. This kind of a stuff. People are going to cloud because they want to show it as a business showcase, as if they are on the leading edge, without really understanding the impact. CISOs have to have a say in that, sitting with the CTOs to decide whether that is the right strategy that they need to go with.
Great. Thanks, Murali. And Narayanan, do you want to add something on how to handle mobility and BYOD?
Yeah, the two controls what Murali just pointed out are very essential and critical controls. On top of it, what I want to add is you need to have a corporate, you need to have a security policy which says that personal data and corporate data to be segregated. Corporate data should lie within a sandbox in the personal device of the employee. Because when you do a remote wipe, he also loses his personal data. Since we are in India, the strict privacy laws doesn't apply to us, but still, you never know, what device he is using. If you take Android, there are so many versions. Which version is vulnerable? What is that vulnerability? CISO or IT security guys have no clue today. Is the guy patching the Android device or not? We have no clue. So it's better to segregate the corporate data in a sandbox with a lot of commercial utilities available, and have control over your corporate data in his device. And that in my opinion is a critical control.
Wonderful.